Hello, all, as you come in. Get some music ready and going. Just going to play some music as people come in. I'll wait for people to come in for a bit. Hey, Amy. I'm going to get started on hey, baby girl. Good to see you. I'm going to get started here in a second. I'm going to do this one a little bit different. Hey, Michelle. Hello there again. Yeah, I'm just going to another one. Hey, Local Queen. Good to see you. Let some music play while we wait. Hopefully warm up. I'm sitting down because I didn't realize I'd be doing it. I did a 15-minute Zumba this morning and then just kind of did the warm up at 5:30 Eastern and doing it now. So after a bit, my body gets to moving. But we'll get started here shortly. I'll share the link to the video I'm using this time around. Let's see. I think it's this one here. So this one here that I'm going to do, yep, a double. Oh, Stony, were you in the last one? Nice. So I'm going to. Oh, that's so cool, Michelle. And Michelle, I'm going to, I did this for Joe as well. I'm going to make sure to do moves because I know we have to be mindful of our back and stuff. So I'll show some modifications that doesn't have a lot of the twisting and stuff, and then also show modifications from the seated position as well. So I just want to be mindful of, and you know your body, so too, you know what you want to do and not do. I'm going to do this one a little bit different. I'm going to go through some of the actual steps and show some moves, but we'll make it work. Hey, Bellflower, good to see you. Just going to do a quick round two. I'm going to do this one a little bit different. Kind of walk through the steps a little bit more. I'm going to get some water too. My throat's kind of dry. Hey, Robert, good to see you. We're going to walk through Stony. It's funny you say that. So I haven't been able to share this with anyone. Can I do a confession? This is my confession. So we were out of town for most of Thanksgiving week. So we ate out a lot, and I did a lot of, I just made sure when we ate out, I had all my protein shakes, protein bars, fruit, stuff like that at the house. And then when we went out, I would just do a lot of, protein. I had these wonderful bacon bites that were like these huge chunks of bacon. They were so delicious. Had like a bourbon glaze or something on it, but it was so good. Anyway, and so I did a lot of, protein, and then made sure to get my veggies and all the things. So I did really well while we were out of town. I get home, one of my neighbors made a Thanksgiving plate for my mom and made her some cookies and pecan pie. She doesn't eat pecan pie, so there was two slices, and she saved that. My mom saved it for me and my husband, and so I quite literally. So I guess it would have been, because we got back Friday, so I guess it would have been Saturday. I did a really good breakfast. I can't even remember what we ate for lunch. I don't even remember. But literally for dinner, I ate a pecan pie. That was my dinner. So I felt I deserved it. I did really well. So I ate a pecan pie I was going to eat just half of it. And it's like, well, I'm not going to eat anything else. I'm just going to eat my pecan pie. So I am proud to say that at the tender age of 46, I ate dessert for dinner, and I am proud of it. So there you go. So Stony, I have no advice for you as far as pumpkin pie goes, because I say enjoy it. Yeah, we can work it off. Okay, so yeah, pecan pie is so good. It's so good. Like, it's one of those things that probably shouldn't be made. Like, no one should make this, but here we are. Okay. So I'm going to go through some basic stuff before we get into any of the moves. My goal is to show some moves and then show the steps and talk about, where in the body you want to concentrate and focus on, right? So first of all, everyone, welcome. For those of you on the replay, thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching. And again, for those of you here live, thank you. This has actually been really fun. So the first round went really well, and I actually enjoyed doing it. I do want to share with y'all after much, because I have loved Zumba ever since I did it way back in 2012 and did really well with it. There was a point I was doing Zumba 4 to 5 times a week, like at a pretty intense level. And then I don't know if y'all, I was doing Zumba so much and burning so many calories. I don't know if y'all remember when Pizza Hut had those small, like 3 pizzas that they would do as a meal. Like I would literally go to, so I do Zumba Monday night, Wednesday, Thursday, and I would go Friday, and then sometimes even Saturday morning. But usually Thursday night, I would go to Pizza Hut because there was a Pizza Hut right by the Zumba class, and I would get those 3 pizzas just to eat the calories I just burned, because otherwise I would be just in a crazy deficit. So anyway, yeah, those pizzas were good. Anyway, so my goal is to kind of walk us through some moves, do some steps, and then talk about where to emphasize or where to, accentuate the move. And then I will walk through modifications. If y'all have tips in the chat or in the comments, those on the replay comments later, definitely if you have suggestions on modifications, please share them with the community. The other thing I would say is, Marjorie, you're probably already yelling at me. Stand by, I'm gonna get my water. So water is essential. Make sure you have some water. Have water. Kind of while we're talking, just kind of move. If you're joining me, move your body. Kind of just walk in place, do side steps. And so let me walk through some just basic sort of upfront modifications that I do, and it's just things to know. So again, welcome everyone. Hey Evelyn, good to see you. And Evelyn, when you're able to be in the chat, you can also speak to some of the you can kind of speak to some of the importance of like stretching and just muscles and how to make sure we're mindful of our body. But check with the doctor before you truly start this and all those things. So off the top modifications that I personally do, I don't like jumping, and I don't like spinning and coming and having to do a move. So I'll talk about jumping first. So Zumba does have high level Zumba does rely on a lot of jumping. Now, some of it is just sort of celebration moves, like you're just doing the pump in the air or jumping. I tend not to do that. Either I'll just kind of do the arm movement, or I'll just kind of walk in place and do the arm movement. But I personally tend not to do the jumping. If you're still wanting to get some leg stuff, you can just do some calf raises and do the move. You can do some side steps, or you can just walk in place and do the move. So I personally modify most jumping. And then what do I mean by spinning and then going into a move? So a lot of Zumba, they'll do moves like basic salsa steps. And this is my version of salsa. I know it's not good salsa, but they'll do basic salsa steps, and then they'll want to do like a turn, and then go straight into a salsa step. I have a hard time doing that. So typically what I do is I just sort of do another move. So if they just finished up kind of a side step, I'll continue to do the side step. There's this one move that y'all will see later, hopefully, in this tutorial that I personally love. It's called, you can either call it the wood chop, I call it the machete chop, but it's a merengue move, or the merengue, it could be a move. And so you do the wood, you do the thing here. So sometimes they'll do that move and go into a circle. I just continue to do the move there, right? I'd rather continue the exercise I enjoy than going into one that I don't. A lot of modifications can be simply done by things we know. So just side steps. You know, we've all been doing side steps since what was his name? Richard Simmons, Denise Austin. You know, the basic side step is a game changer. And I'm realizing y'all can't see my feet. Hold on real quick. Okay, I want to make sure y'all see my feet. The basic side step. So that's an easy move. Grapevine is your friend. You'll see the grapevine move throughout. Sometimes move it. But the major categories of Zumba, so the Latin version will be salsa, merengue, cumbia, and reggaeton. There are versions of sort of the Bollywood moves, and then also the bachata. I won't do the latter two, but we'll kind of focus on just merengue, salsa, cumbia, merengue, and reggaeton for the most part. Hey Z, good to see you. Okay, so we'll go ahead. I'm going to play, Harjareen made me a whole bunch of music, Zumba music. So I'll be playing that while the music in the background is playing. I did put earlier, and I'll do it again. Oh yeah, Stony, Stony, we'll have to, if you want, we have to do a collab. We can do a reggae collab, and you do your music and I'll bring the Zumba. How about that? We'll make that happen. That'll be fun. But I did put the link to the video I'm personally following, which you're welcome to follow along to. This is a tutorial from the Zumba. I'll see how long, it's very tutorial-y. They don't get too much into the music, so we'll see how long I'll stick to this, and then I may change it. But let's go ahead and get moving. Like I said, I'll do a move, and then I'll pause it and walk us through it and walk us through modifications, okay? Hopefully y'all can hear Harjareen's music. Stony, don't laugh at that. We could do a collab. It'd be fun. Okay. So right now, the first sort of section of music is going to be salsa. And it's the, basic steps. And then we'll kind of learn steps. And then so it's just it's a rock step. There is a count to this. It's like, but I can never do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's just a rock step. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you can speed it up. You can move your arms, do different things. You can slow it down. Sometimes the music calls for this to be slow. But it's just a rock step, and you move your hips. But if you don't want to move your hips too much, if you have to be mindful about that hip movement, this is where you can do sides. You just do a simple side step. Side step. And you can still pause it if you need to, if it's slow. Now, if it's a faster beat, you can and you can pause in the middle to keep with the beat. You have to find the beat. So if you need to move it up, maybe you do more with your arms, but you do less with your legs, right? And then if you need to be seated, you just do this again, move your arms, so your side step, you're just going to be like this. You can lift your legs if you want to, but that's how you'll do this from a seated position. You're still getting the motion for your hip and your legs. And then, of course, if you're moving your upper body, you're getting the motion in your arms, okay? And again, it's all about just finding that beat and keeping the beat, right? So that's the basic side step. It's all the side step. Let's see if there's any questions. They put me in the back, Stony. Oh, no. Stony, this is a good, safe group to talk about that trauma in. So this is a safe space if you need to. You have a lot of people that will be here to support you and walk you through that trauma. Okay, so we're still on the salsa side step, but again, it's just a rock step. So yeah. Now this is where this particular tutorial gets into jumping, I'm going to skip that because I don't jump. But if you are someone who wants to do the jump move, now this is like the speed in which this could go. They like to jump a whole lot. I don't do all that jumping. But if it's something where there's a jump, remember, you can just do some calf raises or just walk in place. You don't have to jump to burn calories. So just keep that in mind. You can do modifications. And I highly recommend when you're learning Zumba to do lots of modifications. So let's get to a different move. These two are very chatty in this particular tutorial. So let's get to a different move. Now, apparently they stay on this move a while. Okay. I'm going to move on to a different move. Okay. Yeah, I may be moving to the other one because these folks are taking too long. Oh, this is a fun little, so they show this little move right here, which is just, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know what this is working. It's a fun sort of like when there's a break in the song, it's a fun move to do there. You just shake. You can add it to a salsa. But as a fitness person, I don't know what this is truly working on other than the joy of being silly. So this is going to be your silly muscle when you do this move here. That's just your pure silly muscle. Okay. Let's get to some fun moves. So this is a salsa just rock step. You've probably done this one before. It's just this is pretty much it. But you will move it to the side occasionally. And it's just a rock step. Sometimes they will turn with this one. And if you're doing it with me, you will immediately feel it in your hips. So let me do that again. Let me put some music on. Actually, let me pause, see what y'all are saying. I'm here heading to the next. Oh my gosh, you have to go to all these tire places. Squats burn a lot of calories, yes. That is correct. Let me play another song, and then we'll do this rock step, which is a really fun move when you add the arms. So you keep your arms here, which is a good, and again, you're literally just lifting up. You can see, you're just lifting up on your, toes and back it down. You're just sort of, again, you're finding that beat with your body to move it in a rhythm. But then to get really fun, get your arms involved. And you probably have seen, if you've done seen any of my shorts, and you're just basically moving your arms. And anytime, that's one thing I talked about in the other one, so I'll take a pause here to talk about it again. Anytime you have an opportunity to move your arms or use your arms, you want to create resistance, because that's how, I won't this week talk too much about adding the toning aspect to Zumba, but let me turn this down a little bit so I'm not competing. Anytime you get an opportunity to move your arms, create resistance, create that body weight resistance. And that's how you'll help shape up your toning. So different moves that you're going to see in Zumba, that with the arms, the one you just saw. And so again, with your palms flat, and they don't have to be flat as long as you can create resistance without them being flat, whatever's comfortable for you. You'll just do this move and you'll feel it immediately. And if your range of motion is tough here, you can just keep your arms to the side. If you want to lift them up, you can, but you can just stay right here. And again, from sitting position, you can use your arms if you need to. Another one that you'll see oftentimes is when there is a grapevine, again, that pushing down. So if there's a grapevine, push down on your arms to create that tension in your arms, of course, or that resistance. And then another move we talked about earlier was just your basic, a lot of warm-ups. They'll do just this, and we've seen this. You've seen this move, so create that resistance in the air, And so you can do like this, like you're pushing against the air, and you get that resistance. Another move will be with your shoulders, and typically they'll just have you do this. They'll do one arm, one arm, one arm, and then they'll have you do both. If you can get your arms, so sometimes if this is all you can do, that's all you can do, right? But if you can get it to where you turn your arms at the front as you come in, and you see kind of where I'm turning, I let them get right here, and then I start turning, you're going to feel a different type of stretch than when you stay here. So if you can do that, that will help with building muscle. Back in the day when I was doing it, there was this one move where the instructor would have us, let me see if I can remember it. It was really fast because he'd have us go up, down, and you're still, again, coming, and that will get you quick, but it will get those arm muscles toned. Pushing the paparazzi. Oh, I have that. So I have that pushing the paparazzi. I said getting people off the dance floor. So I know I'm skipping ahead, but another move that happens is just this. So I call that, clearing your dance space. I need room. I know those of us who do Zumba in person, we like having as much room as possible. No worries, foraging. I'm kind of just getting started. You're good. So yeah, that's what I call the pushing people off the dance floor move. Okay, so let's get back to the tutorial. Let me put in the chat again for those who coming in. This is the video I'm following. It's a little bit different than the one I did earlier. This is more of a truly step-by-step tutorial. Hey, Grace, good to see you. We're kind of just getting started here. We just did a couple of salsa moves. So we are at, I need some water. Okay, so now we're doing salsa. I don't know, who knows what we were doing before. Those are just steps. Okay, so now we're doing kind of some salsa moves here. So now salsa, I would say salsa is probably the go-to move for a lot of these exercises, are the moves you see in salsa. There is a lot of hips. This is where you can kind of just, have fun. Nope, for those of you who took dancing, again, there's gonna be a lot of side salsa. When you're doing front, you're gonna do front, pause in the middle, back, front, pause in the middle, back when you're going forward. And you keep the same leg that's going forward when you're in a choreographed move. So like I'm using my right leg and it looks left, depending on how you're viewing. But when you're doing a forward move with salsa, typically, you're going to keep a certain, like either a 4 or 8 count of the same, front leg, same back leg, pause in the middle, and then you switch it up. So if I was to do a 4 count, you would do front leg or right leg forward, pause, left leg back. Right leg forward, pause, left leg back. This can be sped up, but I'm just doing it, kind of keeping a slow pace. And then you'll pause. You might do a side move, to the side for a little bit. And then you would switch your legs. So left leg forward, pause in the middle, right leg back. Left leg forward, pause in the middle, right leg back. And then anytime you're about to transition, they always will do kind of a different move just to get your brain rewired and reworked. Okay, does that help a little? Oh, thank you, Foraging. So, and then if you're In the seated, you can do the same thing. So again, if you're doing the side, just step out to the side. You know, use your arms, do anything with your arms. Again, it's all about making sure you're moving that waist. And then if you're doing that forward step, again, we were talking about this earlier in the earlier live, I wouldn't try to bring your leg back. This is kind of a weird position, but give yourself enough room up front to go to, like, if you're here in a neutral position, you can go forward, pause, back with the other leg. And you may have to sit up, forward, pause, back with the other leg. Forward leg, pause, back with the other leg. And then you'll do whatever in the middle and then switch. Left leg forward, right leg back. Left leg forward, pause, right leg back. So there's some different moves of how you would modify that in a seated position. And then if you're standing and you don't like the salsa, you don't like all the hip movement, then just step out, step out. This is a common move. Step front, step back, step front, step back, without all the, the extra hip movement, right? Okay, how are we doing that? Oh, forwarding. Someone else broke their foot in the earlier one. I feel like that's happening a lot lately. Okay, so let's see what salsa moves. They're going to take us through a count. So he's going to take us through a quick count of some salsa moves. Let me put some music on. Again, this music was made by our very own Harjareen, the Boss Way. Okay. I think we're going to do some side steps here. We're going to go slow. Yep. And see, there is a pause, even though when it's fast, it doesn't feel like there's a pause, but there is one. So this move, if you're doing it, you can feel it. One of the things I talk about is, our hip is here. This is probably truly where our hip is. So try to extend your leg to your oblique. Like that in your brain, you should think of your leg as starting in your oblique, so you can get that waist movement in. So this is me just stepping out with my legs. Here I am. But if I bring in my oblique, it's more accentuated. Right? And try to get the pace. If you think of your leg as starting in your obliques, you get more muscle involved, you get the obliques involved, and you're able to accentuate the move a little bit more. Okay? But if you're here, stay here. You need to be here, stay here. Don't do these extra moves just so you can do them if your body doesn't want to do that. Okay. We're going to add some other little moves, but we're not going to go over that. I just want to keep it simple. They're doing basically like this. If you wanted to add your hand here, you could go crazy and do that. Just a little move. So here's this front move that we went over before. So right leg, you notice how there's a pause to get your balance. There we go. Your music works really well for like all the moves. I'm really impressed. So this is a simple move. Like I said, if you need to modify, just step forward, step back. You don't want to do the hips, you don't have to. Okay? So then we pause there. They're going to go a little bit faster. I'm going to do the other leg faster just to kind of move us forward. But they do go slow with the other leg. Yeah. But see, notice how even faster, there's still that pause. And you kind of are on your toes when you go faster, but you don't have to. You don't have to be on your toes. You need to stay on your flat foot, you can. You don't have to get up on your toes. Okay, so let's see what we're about to do next. I think we're going to do Oh, this is the fun move. So I think I attributed this to cumbia. This is actually a, let's see, this I guess is a salsa move. So yeah. So we're about to do a really fun move. Here, it's one of my favorite moves. Hargreen, if you're still on, you have to remind me what I how I got us through this the first round. This one move here. It's fun. And we'll walk through it. Okay, so this move here, it's all about, again, when I was talking about starting your leg from up front or in your obliques, or to think of it as starting there because it will help with this move. So this is one, it's kind of tricky. Let me make sure, let me bring this camera down so y'all can see my feet a little bit better. Okay, so this move here, you're going to come across, and you can think of it as one or two ways. Either your front foot is the one doing the moving, and your back leg is propelling you, but ultimately you're crossing over, keeping my right leg is crossed over my left in front, and I'm keeping that leg up front, right? And I'm using this leg to lead me forward. I am on my tippy toes, it's easier. And then my back leg is kind of propelling me forward, okay? Typically this comes after a basic salsa. And then again, my left leg is now in front and it's kind of bringing me forward, right? So let me do that again. Let me pause. I never know what I do with the remote, so bear with me. So let me show that again. So your front leg, in this case it's my right, is in front of the left. And it's the left leg or the front leg that's guiding me forward, but I am using that back to push me off. And again, I'm getting momentum from my oblique area. So let me just run through it and then we'll slow it down. So it's almost like the best way I can describe it, when someone told me this about salsa years ago when I was in college, to pretend like you got to pee. And that's kind of the essence of the salsa movement. So pretend I got to pee. Oh my God, I got to pee. And I've got to creep over to the toilet. You know, that's kind of the move. Let me hold it while I creep over to the toilet. If you don't like that move, step out, step out, step out. Just do a grapevine. Step out, step out, step out. It's kind of like a single leg grapevine, depending on the direction you're going. So usually grapevine is like this. So this is a couple of mini grapevines if you want to slow it down. If you're able to do the move, it's right here. And then if you get fancy, you can move your upper body with it, stuff like that. But that's the move. Let's see. I have no. You can follow Zumba though, because you can slow it down. Let's see. What are y'all saying? Are y'all being funny? I can't follow someone's side. Yeah, it's easier to do. That's why I like doing Zumba in person. Because you can either hide behind somebody else or follow someone else. So if you're sitting and want to do that move, I would just do side steps. Or if you want to just kind of do this, you can, and just switch legs. Or you can do an abductor. Wait, is it Michelle, which one is it when you're focused on the, I know you just been to the gym, when you focus on the inner thighs, is that adductor? I believe it's the ADD. But yeah, if you needed to sit to do that move, because what that move is working is ultimately the inner thigh. But the one thing I shared in the other class about Zumba is that Zumba has a tendency to wake up muscles you've never used, or wake up muscles you used a long time ago, and it's a reunion, right? Especially if you ever did cheerleading or any other dance, or, activities that sort of focus on tiny movements, if you will. So like this one here, you'll feel it obviously in your calf muscle, invest in the back calf, and then the front calf, it's that inner thigh that's leading you. And that's where you're getting some good work. How do we do on that move? It probably looks more complicated than it is. Adductor. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. So yeah, so that's that move. It's a fun one. And again, if you don't want to be up here, do like a mini grapevine or mini grapevines within the move, and you get the same effect, but it's slowed down a bit. Okay. Yep. So yeah. And yeah, and you can, if you need to keep your feet lower, you can get nutty and kind of get some more resistance. But if you have bad news, I would not do that. I would not do that move. I would stay up top. Okay, so where are we at? So this is just bringing it all together. We kind of did that. And I hope I get to all my favorite moves. So they're just slowing it down a bit. They're kind of just going through the salsa moves. I feel like they skipped a whole section. Maybe they didn't. Okay, here we go. How long is this video? Okay, it's 20 minutes. Okay, so they're going to do one more step in this series, and then I'll do another one. So this is another salsa. This is just the salsa travel. It's a traveling salsa move. But again, anytime there's traveling moves, you don't have to travel. But it's kind of like, it's a little bit like the merengue move, but not exactly. So let's get this going. Oh yeah, so this is just a simple move. They use this a lot between transitions. Typically, most of the time, you can be down here when you do it, but typically when you see it, they want you up here. But if this isn't your range, again, remember what I said about arm movements, whether you're going down, just create some resistance. You can have weights, but I'm not really going to talk about weights or focus on weights this week. Maybe next week I'll do some Zumba toning. But, keep your arms where your range of motion is. And if you don't like, or if you're on carpet or you don't like this, because I don't always love this move, especially when I'm in the height of it, I feel like it slows me down a bit. But, you can just do double step outs, double, right? You can just do side step, double side step, which is really what it is. And then, of course, if you're doing Centao, again, focus on the arm movement. And then, do your leg like that. Okay? So that's a little bit of, I think that was mainly merengue and salsa. Let me take it to another one, and this will get more into the cumbia. Yeah, this is the cumbia. This is probably my favorite. Sorry, I keep cutting off my head. Cut off my head to spite my face, or nose to spite my face. So let's see. Can't try. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about doing that one right now for foraging. Okay. So we're going to do the machete move. This is one of my favorite moves. I kind of sort of saw it at the beginning when I was talking about spinning. So there's different ways. There's going to be different ways to do this move. I'll show the full way, and then I'll show modifications. There's my feet. Okay, so this is machete. And for those of you, machete is just kind of a big, giant dagger. So kind of come from the sugarcane region. So the full move of this, your foot's going here, and then here. Here, and then here. So I'll show the full move. You come down like you have machete, turn your arm and turn your body here and here. However, if you are not there, you can do different things. You can just do the move. Like if you just did this, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it in your shoulder, your arm, your upper arm, but you're also going to feel it anytime you come across the body. You're going to feel it here. Foraging, you and I know farm chores. So we tend to do this move for various reasons. So, you know, you get this move to probably a lot. Picking up hay, picking up feed containers, you're getting this move, right? So you can just stay forward. Just stay forward. You don't even have to move your leg. You can just do the arm movement. If this range of motion is too much, come to the side. You know, come to the side. You don't always have to do the full movement, especially if you have those balance issues, or vertigo, different things like that. You don't have to do this full movement. You can just stay here, just do the front leg, and then if you're seated, you know, just focus on the arm movement. Now, if you want to bring a leg in there, you can just step it out. If you get more of the abs, if you just step it out and bend. So those are different ways you can modify that movement. Any concerns, questions? Throwing chicken scratch. There you go. So yeah. Okay, so let's do. So this other move is we're still on cumbia. I'm gonna drink some water. Oh, this is a fun move. I'm gonna pause real quick. I just want some more water in my body. So my sister let me use this. Have y'all seen these water bottles? Let me show you. So it has a straw. This is not a commercial break. It is and it isn't. So there is a straw in here. But I don't know how I feel about this because I feel like I'm going to inevitably like spill water on myself at some point. So like it has the part that's connected to the straw and it has a big gulp. And I really just fear I'm going to forget about that big gulp part and like do this number. And water's just going to spill all over my face one day. I'll let y'all know if that happens. It probably will not be televised, but I will let you know if it happens. Okay, hopefully I haven't lost y'all yet. I'm getting back to the Zumba. Sorry, I just had to get a quick water break. Hopefully y'all are still with me. Okay, let me put some music on. Hey, Yvette, thank you for joining again. I'm just doing round two, kind of different version. Okay, so now we're gonna do, this is one of my favorite moves. It's just a front, back with your leg on either side. You can do different things with your arms. Now this is kind of the Zumba classic arm movement, right? And so one of the things about this move is you want to accentuate. This is another way you're accentuating where the leg starts. So this is, you know, you can stay here. This is fine. And you don't have to turn necessarily too. If you're someone who needs to face forward, you can just move forward. I tend to turn. So this is another move. You can stay here if you want. This is good. But if you imagine your leg starts in the center of your abs or in your oblique, watch the difference. You're getting more of that ab work in. All right? And I'll show you what this move leads to here in a second. So if you're just willing to accentuate it a little more, or imagine your leg starts higher, it just gets further up and adds the abs to that whole exercise. Okay? Hey, Kendi K. That's it. Kendi K just said it. This. You're like, y'all have fun dancing? I'm going to stay right here. Do some side steps. Move my arms. I'm going to groove to the beat. I'm still keeping that heart rate up. Anytime a step gets in the way, feel free. Change it up. Yeah, you can just go back to some classic dance moves, right? You can throw in some, I only know like the Cotton Eye Joe and those other little country dance moves. So that's what I know. And then what's that other one? Thunder, is it Thunder Road or something Road? Okay. So this is another fun little cumbia move. Let me catch it. So again, you're using your hips, or not your hips, but you're using just above your hips in your oblique area. You want to move that body. So kind of in this next move. It'll be easier once the move happens. This is one of those moves that's hard to do slow, but that's the best way to show the move. It's a side step, but you're really asking your abs or your obliques to get that leg up. You'll begin to understand why, when sometimes in the chat, a lot of us will start talking about getting rid of visceral fat and all that other stuff. I'm not going to speak to the science of whether you actually get rid of visceral fat and all this other stuff by any one exercise move. But when you're doing things like this, it's touching on muscle that's underneath. You might still have to get rid of some stuff up front, but it'll get there. So this move is all about, it's a side step, but you're asking your obliques to start the movement. Okay? And we'll speed it up in a second. So not now, but we'll speed it up. I think we speed this one up. So that's one of the moves you'll do. And then we're going to add an arm variation to this. They call it the sleep leg, this particular move. So we're going to add the arms to this, which the arms do help. So I think adding the arms helps with this move. But it's a side step, but you're asking your hip and obliques to do the work. And so I'll speed it up here in a second if you want to see it. So there's another version of this that y'all sometimes see me do. And so you can, so that's some of the fun moves there. And then we'll put it together here in a second. So next section is the reggaeton stuff. So we'll do a couple of reggaeton moves, and then I'll show you all some other moves, and then we'll kind of chit chat for a bit, and then close it out. So I'm trying. It took me a while, Amy. Like I shared with the other group, I can try to find. There are some videos of me online when I was doing this in 2012. I had an amazing instructor back then, two, because there was two people I went to. I did not always have this hip move down. I did a lot of side stepping, kept my body straight. It's like I was like, let me quite literally just get which direction my leg needs to move. I didn't worry about whether my hips were following me or not. Okay. So reggaeton, it's going to be a looser movement. You want to, I'm not going to go into full hip hop or anything like that, but you kind of want to keep your body loose a little bit. But let's kind of look at some steps. So this is another bounce, but this is a little bit different. It does have a foundational step. That's what they're talking about right now. And I'll put this link in the description as well, the link to the video, or the two videos I did, so that you have, it's already in my playlist, but you can see it. So a reggaeton move that will happen awesome. It's just, you kind of, again, keep your knees a little bent there. And then It's just a rock step. I think this is what that's called. And you're going to see how this is used in a minute. This isn't necessarily one of my favorite steps, but, you know, it's an important one. It gets used a lot. So sometimes, yeah, let me see if I can do this move here in a second because it's a little tricky. You actually kind of push out opposite the way you're going to catch the rhythm. When you do this, you know, everything's forward moving, right? This is very natural when you go the direction, when you're pushing the direction you're going. But when you're creating this sort of pushback, you're actually asking this back leg to do some work. And so if you're doing this, that back leg is getting a workout when you're pushing an opposite. You're pushing your arms forward opposite the direction your body's going. So you get this back leg, gets a lot of work, okay? And you'll feel it almost immediately in that muscle. Yeah, I think I did 3 workouts today. I might, you know what I'm gonna do? I got those, those Biscoff cookies they give you on the airplane. I have a package left. I'm gonna eat it. I've done 3 workouts today, Zumba. So I'm gonna eat those Biscoff cookies and I'm gonna enjoy them. It's only 2 of them. So yeah, so this move, it's a good move. It's not my favorite just because it's awkward. But if you don't want to do this, go back to what Kay said. Just keep moving. I'll do some salsa, but I might keep the arm movements, you know? I might want to keep the arm movements and lose the legs. So I'll just step out or walk in place. Just keep the arm movement. Okay? So let's do, this is the knee lift, the reggaeton knee lift. So this one's kind of fun. This one's fun. I know we were doing knee lifts the other day. Actually, some people I think are still doing the challenge. So, and you're gonna see, usually there's a pattern. So we'll do it right now. We're just focused on the simple move. It's just knee lifts. Oftentimes there'll be a one leg, double, single, double. That's usually how this move, it'll start off with single legs, but then it'll eventually go to single, double. And you can stay here. You don't have to lift if you just want to do, you know, a tap out, do tap out. 1, single. And then if you're sitting, you can do the leg lift from the sitting position. So single, double, single. And you're getting it. Actually, you're kind of getting more of a lower ab when you're seated. So single, double, single, double. That's how you can do it from the central, position. So let's see what else they have for us. This is so you can, you know, sometimes they might do a wide knee. So they're kind of just maybe putting all the steps together, but we're going to skip past that. Again, we're just learning steps right now. And then I'll show you some of the moves we did in the last one that didn't come up here, but they are important moves. So I'll make sure to show you. They're just chatting right now. Let's see what are they doing here. So they're going to do a back and forward movement. Yeah, and this is just sort of a, you're going to hold, move, hold. You know, anytime you do this move, hold, it is a kind of a strength training. You're asking You know, you're bringing momentum. If you don't like the way that feels, just step out, step out, step out, step out. I realize you probably didn't see my feet there. I think you're just holding you're just stopping. And so usually the hand move, you know, it's a little bit faster. So they'll do a move like this. Or you can just, again, keep it simple. You don't have to go down so hard or put that pressure on you like that. And then you can do different arm moves. So yeah, so that's kind of the move for that one there. You don't see that one as much, but it does come up every once in a while. But it's not one of the more common ones. But it's an important one to do. Let's see. See, they're just wrapping up. Yeah, so let me show you a few other moves that we did in the last one. Let me put some music on because it's just easier to do with music. I love these songs, Hardrain. So some moves that didn't come up in this one, again, it's kind of, I call it just like the leg stomp, if you will, that happens often. I'll show you the move. It's usually combined with this move, so you'll follow this one. So this is like that's probably one of the most common ones you'll see. This is this one here. And it's just a step front, step back, step front, step back. Again, you don't have to go to the hips. You can stay here, you can stay forward. But if you're doing this, again, try to get some of that oblique in there. And then a move that often goes with that, I just call it like a pony stomp or a foot stomp. Horses like to do this a lot. Sometimes chickens do. But it's just, you're just sort of, oftentimes it's a transition move. You're just doing like that. And usually if it's a traveling move with this one, when you get really intense with this one becomes a traveling move. And then you go backwards like that. I never do the left leg as well, just the right. So that's usually how that move is. But again, stay in place when you're first starting out. The biggest thing, like any exercise, is to focus, get skill at the move, at the standing, at the basic level, and then add flair to it later. That's one move that was in the other one that I didn't show here. Yeah, I know. I got a little fancy there. Let me get back to the dance floor. Perfect. It's only two. I want to steal my husband's, but I won't take his cookies from him. So another move. Let me get some water before our drink gets on to me. Okay. Another move that this one did not show. Well, it kind of showed a version of it. Oh, it didn't actually show it at all. It's the V-step. So with the guy I follow, I don't know why, I think my cat's turning my chair. Or it's possessed, one of the two. The V-step move is used. They didn't show it in this one. So your V-step is here. Again, many of aerobics class, side step, V-steps, grapevine, those are classic moves, right? So oftentimes that will be the basis of the V-step, especially in the warm-up. However, sometimes they do throw in some arm movements. Y'all saw this before. So it's just, and again, if this isn't your range of motion, go down, just again, create that resistance. All right, you can go up with the V-step, even though I don't like that. I usually just stay here. And if you keep your hands kind of, again, create that resistance in your hand. That alone will give you a workout, that move there. You don't have to do a big V-step. Keep it simple. Be small. And then if you are trying to get some of that strength training in while you're doing cardio, you can go, when you move forward in a V-step, go down and then come up. So it looks like this. I don't do this often. Every once in a while, I'll throw one or two in. But if you go down and do that squat, watch your knees. But that's another thing you do. If I'm doing this, I'm not doing as much of the arms, right? Pick one. I'm like, my body's like, pick one, you know? And then you'll sometimes see that arm move. I think we showed in the last one when you're doing that kind of quick salsa. You know, sometimes I'll just do this in the kitchen while I'm waiting for my food to warm up. This move will get you going. And you are on your tippy toes there. What else do I want to show? Oh, some ab moves. I didn't show them. I showed them in the last one. Typically, a lot of the focus on the ab, because all those moves we did are focusing on your core. So this whole band, back, obliques, front, right? But when there are targeted core exercises, a lot of times they usually do that in the beginning. So some of the moves you'll see is this one's, I never feel coordinated doing this one. Your legs don't have to be that widespread, but you see it, you'll do these slow. They always start off slow. On the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they'll speed it up. So that's one of the ab moves. Another one you'll see is and you'll see this one even movement. They'll do where they do this. They'll do it seated too. Where you just if you hold in your abs, and then they'll add a little thing like that to it. And you're just sort of squeezing your abs. Well, not squeezing, but holding them. You're always breathing through this, right? And then that's probably my favorite one that they do is you'll start off like this. And you keep your arms here. You do this. I usually just keep them here. You can kind of put a crunch in there, but you don't have to. And you can do this seated. I'll show you here in a minute, seated. And then they'll turn this one. And this is when it gets fun, where they'll do this. And again, I'm creating some resistance in my arm. I'm not just, I'm being intentional about creating resistance in the arm. So you can do all those seated. You need to turn up the couch. So you can do this seated. I don't know that I would do this fast seated because I'm already kind of I don't feel stable doing that. I want to do it fast. But you can do this one. And then you can kind of do a version of that one, but probably I would stay here, depending on how your chair is. And then you can do this one seated. So different options there. Trying to think, was there anything else I wanted to show? Was there anything else? Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway is have fun. Modify. And that can look like anything, your modification. Drink your water before, during, and after. So heavy cardio, so take your time the first couple times you're doing it. Focus, if you're new to fitness in general, I would focus on doing Zumba Gold. Look for Zumba Gold. That's a slower pace. They don't have a lot of jumps, don't have a lot of spinning. And of course, there's regular Zumba Central, which is the seated. And then there's Zumba toning, which I do that occasionally. I'm not where I need to be with Zumba toning, but always start off with low weights, either body resistance, 1 or 2 pounds. Don't try to go up to 4 and 5 pounds or even higher. I would never go higher than 5 pounds, to be honest with you, in Zumba toning, but don't start there. Even if you are already strength training, I would not start Zumba toning at 5 pounds. Start with 1s or 2s. What What other good reminders? Consult with your doctor, consult with your body, please do a check-in, because it is going to work muscle that you have either never, it kind of, like I said, it works big muscle when you do those big muscle exercises, when you're doing stuff like this, it's working those big muscles. But when you're doing moves like this, it's working kind of those smaller muscles that you may not have used in a while. So you want to be kind to yourself. I did have to. Now, granted, I've been doing tutorials the last for 2 tutorial hours, so they haven't been true. They haven't been true in it. So, but I think I am going to do a nice little soak or something, or just take a nice shower to kind of warm my muscles. Let's do a quick cool down. It won't be a long one, but just kind of always keep your chin not up like this, but parallel to the ground. And always just kind of always do a cool down. After any workout, do a cool down. Always do a cool down. And again, keep your chin up. Do that stretch that Callie showed us the other day here in a second. I still can't touch. I think, Hardrine, you were able to get your hands connected. I don't think I can. I can't touch my hands yet, but I'll get there. It's still a good stretch. Okay. Kind of, like I said, if you really went in on this tutorial, kind of give yourself a good stretch. So what questions do? I know I've missed questions. What do y'all got for me? Oh, no. I don't before noon. Yeah, I had really good Zumba instructors. They were pretty amazing. Of course, this was really fun. Snowing again. Oh, geez. Yeah, like I said, I'll try to find those. I mean, they're public and online. I don't think my friend would mind if I put them in the playlist. But yeah, you'll see me back from 2012 Jennifer doing Zumba. It's kind of fun. But it's fun. It's a good time. But yeah, my goal I want to keep my 3 times a week. I typically do Monday, Wednesday. I'll either do Friday or Saturday. I do my strength training in between. I am trying to up my strength training. I had only been doing like 15 or 20 minutes of strength training on Tuesday, Thursday, but I kind of want to get that to where I'm doing 30 minutes. So that's probably my challenge outside of Zumba, is trying to get my strength training up. I know I get toning in this, but I still want to do separate for strength training. That's one of my challenges to myself in December. So for those of you who do that and talk about it, and it's motivating me to get my strength training up. But yeah, the DeZumba challenge is really just to try something new, have fun, let yourself look silly doing it, get your family involved if you want, be careful, listen to your body, modify hey, Chip, I've been burning the midnight oil here, Chip. I did my second Zumba tutorial. So, salute to you, good sir. Salute to you. Again, make sure y'all are connected with Chip. I do like shouting him out when I see him. He's doing in all of November, he did some really motivational stuff leading the month of September. Oh, sorry, November. I don't even know what month I'm in. And then even this month, he has continued his series in the morning, and it's good. It's good for life. It's good for YouTube. And so make sure you all are connected with Chip Lowe. He's doing really good stuff in both on the YouTube streets and in the real community. So he's doing some good things. So make sure y'all are connected with him. The Are You Locked In movement. So I appreciate you stopping by here, Chip. And so, so Zumba's it's about having fun, doing something new. I do, when we do those different, whether it's the wall challenge or the leg raises or the squats, I'm going to, can I confess something to y'all real quick? If I know my Zumba is doing all those things, about the only thing Zumba doesn't do is the planks, but it does its version of planks. But if I know my Zumba class is going to have leg lifts, and if it's going to have squats in it, that's where I get my work, because I'm not trying to do an exercise even though here I did it 3 times a day. I'm not necessarily trying to do an exercise, twice in a day. So if I know I'm going to get 50 squats in or 50 leg lifts in one of my Zumba classes, I just wait to do my Zumba. I typically do it in the morning. I know I won't always go live necessarily in the morning. I may go live every week. If y'all want to participate in the challenge, it's up to you. If you want to do a short or do a live, showing us that you're trying something. It's not required for this challenge. If you just want to go to my channel or Hermione's channel and just say you got your Zumba in or you dezumba'd for the day, feel free to share with us or do the dancing or the fire emoji in the chat. But again, there's no requirement that you post every time you do it, unless you just want to, right? Feel free to tag myself and Hermione in it. She was wanting to get some fitness in the month of December to make sure she got it in. And so she had asked, she had said, oh, we should do a challenge and stuff, because I was already getting back into it. Also make sure, I think most of y'all connected with Kindy K, but make sure if you're not, please also connect with Kindy K all day. She's on, and Kindy K, could you drop, or did we just pass today number 50, or was number 50? I think we're past 50 for Shop Talk. What episode of Shop Talk are we on, Kindy K? I feel like we either just passed 50. But while she's doing that, she has started a series. If you're a new YouTube, 50th episode was yesterday. Okay. So 50th episode, she is doing a series. If you're, and I still consider myself relatively new. I just started. I came out of the bushes, as we like to say, in September. And so I consider myself still very new to this. But she is dropping what people should think. If you basically, she's the way to reflect on it, and the way she has talked about it, and feel free, Kindy K, to correct me, is if you were starting your YouTube channel today, what are some things to be prepared for and know? So I think it's very important that even if you've been out here a while, to reflect on it. I'm a big believer in reflection of the things we create and put out there, and the efficiency of our time, because some of us are full-time, some of us, even if we're not full-time employed, we are full-time living life. And I think it's very important that we work, what is the phrase? Work smarter, not harder. Sometimes you got to work hard. That's life, right? I'm looking at the people in this chat right now, and we've had more days of working hard than we've had days of working light. But as we get older, we can certainly begin to work smarter, and making sure we're using good, effective use of our time. And I feel like the stuff that Kindy K is producing, the message that Chip is bringing each this morning, will get us to that point. And even Low Carb Queen, she walks us through some things we need to think about when it comes to our YouTube channel. So there's a lot of people out here, whether they're in the Grow and Connect community, or they're just creators themselves who are just wanting to make sure us youngins don't fall on our faces too much. They make sure you are connected with them. Okay. So I know I kind of went on my diatribe there, so my apologies. Great mentors, great mentors. And there's